And we're back.
Good,
Hey,
good.
everybody. Welcome to the Cavalry. We've got a magnificent guest. The one, the only, Greg Hahn is our guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he
Thanks,
is.
Johnny.
You're welcome. We have a don't feel bad that we didn't give your accolades. We don't
accolades?
do that with any of our guests.
That's fine. What? I haven't had any accolades since like 2001.
Oh, that's perfect. You fit in great around
Yeah,
here.
there you go.
I like
There-
it's fun watching you there because it's like you're at sea,
I'm getting it together. Hold on.
looking choppy.
Yeah.
You're on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
You ever do the cruise ships?
I did them like 10 years ago, man. But yeah, your career goes out to sea, you know? Like your phone doesn't even work.
I know, that's what's tough. No
And then I
communication.
thought, a corporate gig, if you can do those, it pays more than a ship, 7 days on a ship.
That's true. Well,
I don't know.
if you can get that, it depends on the corporate gig.
You got to get the corporate gig.
Yeah.
I don't know,
we'll
man.
have to talk after recording about how to up your price.
Are you doing the ships?
Hey, one time I did a corporate gig for a cruise line. That's like the sweet spot. I did Carnival Cruise Lines there was a gig in San Diego and I was opening for Adam Devine, and they're like, yeah, we want some of our like cruise ship comics to open for, but I didn't work for Carnival on their cruise ships, but they're like, yeah, maybe you should. And I was like, yeah, maybe. But then I've heard they're like shitty, So I was like, I'll take this sweet ass corporate gig in San Diego. And then they were like, do you want it? I was like, I'm good. I'll just,
Yeah.
I'll just
stay
take a
on land
one-nighter.
for that. Yeah. But yeah, me and Johnny, we met on we met a little bit before that, but mostly met on a ship. That's how we became friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Carnival's fun though, isn't it? I mean, I did a bunch on Norwegian.
Yeah, that's the one I like to do because they have actual
Norwegian
clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the best.
But mine was like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if Levity was on Norwegian 10 years ago.
Are you with Levity?
Yeah.
Just on the cruise lines, I do.
All right, good for you.
Have so you never met Andrew? Have you ever met Andrew? Andrew?
No, hey Andrew, what's going on?
Yeah,
Have we
what's
met?
up, man? I know you by reputation, of course, but I don't think we've ever gotten to work together before. So
Nice to see you, Andrew. Now, what if I try these things, man? Do these make it better?
Go for it.
I don't know yet.
Find out. For those of you listening at home, Greg is putting in headphones.
But it's just.
I think that's good. Keep
Yeah,
talking.
that's good.
How's this? Does this sound? Is this you like this better?
Yeah, we
You like
like
it
to
better?
work out all this stuff on the wax.
On the air. On the wax, as they say.
Well, the link showed up at 7.
I know, that's how we do it. We don't do any sort of bullshit like
I like
let's
it.
make sure. No, we get started, we go.
I like it, man. No bullshit preparation. I like
No.
it.
I like your hat. Is that like a running hat? Looks like it has 4
Dude, let me
lights
tell you
on
what kind of. I'll tell you what this hat does, man. Boom.
it. Oh, there
That's
you
good.
go.
I wear this hat when I'm playing ping pong, and it just annoys the opponent.
I guess again we have to tell the listeners at home. Greg's hat has 2 headlights on the bill.
I'll leave it on. There you
Yeah,
go.
leave it
That's
on.
annoying.
Is that legal
safety.
in proper ping pong?
Oh yeah, look it up. Yeah.
I'll just take your word for it. That's fine.
No, look it up. Get the rule book out and look it up.
Yeah, just ping pong. Yeah, look up the chapter lights on hat.
No, it's like you ever get tailgated by somebody and they have like those big halogen SUV highlights and they're like blinding you in your rear view mirror, That's what that's like. Yeah.
Oh, you want me to turn them off? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it gives you an advantage, you're
Yeah.
I mean, ping pong. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, at my house here, I got this ping pong table. It's right in front of me. I wear this hat, and I make people play me, and there's a huge poster behind me. It's like playing against Saddam Hussein. You know what I mean? Like they got to look at the poster. And the poster is of me.
Oh,
So
I thought it was up
I'm yelling at him.
Hussein.
It's a
Poster is
reprint.
of me. So they got to look at that and the lights while they're playing me. All right, man.
So for our audio listeners, can we see the poster?
Oh my God, I just got set up.
Oh, okay. All right. We don't want to
Sure,
go
man.
back out to
Make a move.
sea.
Don't make him move the camera.
You got the ping pong?
There's the
I
ping
see
pong.
the table, yeah. And there's
Oh, there we
there's
go.
the poster.
Oh, the promo poster.
I
Nice.
see.
You got to intimidate your opponent.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
No,
ping
we're
pong.
good.
Any other competitions?
I got a rowing machine right here. See that?
Yeah.
See the rowing machine?
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yes. This is going to be a YouTube exclusive episode.
Yeah. See that? Can you see the drum set downstairs?
It's like you're trying to sell us shit off Craigslist. We don't want anything. We're good.
I have seen the drum set. I saw the drum set on my my bachelor video that when Scott came out to you and you made the little video for my wedding.
Yeah.
That was 11 years ago.
Was that right? All right.
Right.
Congratulations.
Still married. Thank you.
That's great.
Yeah, we'll see.
What?
We've already seen it's 11 years. It's a huge success.
Yeah, you count that. Anything that happens, that's what my wife and I say to each other. Like, anything that happens now, it's already a win. If you go,
that's right.
past like
how many years for you?
We're at 6 years.
Oh, success. It's already a successful marriage, even if you get divorced tomorrow.
That's what that's what I keep telling her.
Yeah,
I say that very ominously before bed every night. Like, hey, even if tomorrow morning a lawyer shows up with papers, this has been great.
This is
What is the hat though? Actually, what is it? Is it designed for like running at night? Is that the?
I think it's designed for working people. Like guys that want to see something when. Yeah, it's a coal miner. All I know is I saw it, and there's lights on it. I'm like, that'll be perfect for ping pong. But it's probably for guys that work underneath their car or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
you
it's
see
like,
the world very differently. You look at everything specifically. How will this affect my ping pong game?
Right. Hey, look at this cane sword. That'd be good for ping pong. I could stab the opponent.
Yeah.
No, it's like you just keep dimming the lights if you start losing.
You know what? That'd be funny. I could turn these lights down and just talk to you. You'll just have two white lights looking at you.
Yeah, try that. That would be good.
Let's try it.
I don't know if that would affect the listeners very much at all, but we'll find out.
No.
This has been the most, the greatest audio experience we've done yet for people.
Yes.
Yeah, man. All right.
No, this is great. We got to drive people to our.
Hey, that's not bad.
Oh, there we go.
Now it looks like you're about to tell us about a crime. Like you're in a.
Yeah, or you're about to tell us about a guy with a hook for a hand.
Yeah. Anyway. How about that one? Some red. We go red.
Ooh, it's the Terminator's our guest this week. I gotta get one of those. I gotta get one of those for running. I would always run in like black shorts and black t-shirt, and my wife would yell at me. So I got one of those reflector vest things.
Yeah, right.
People say I look like a crossing guard.
When do you run? You run at night?
Yeah, that's the only time I can do anything.
Do you run after 9 o'clock at night?
Yeah. Why?
Right.
Is that a magic time?
Do you notice there's kind of like a changing of the guard late at night? It goes from like working people, and the working people go home, and then the criminals come out at night, and like cars will kind of follow you slowly and look at you, or make a U-turn and look at you, and just more like a guy will be jumping a fence and sprinting.
I haven't noticed that, but my next door neighbor told me that. He's like, hey, have you been watching the neighborhood watch? I guess there's like a spring of people that wait till people come home that work second shift, and then they hold them up outside their car. But I'm 6'5". I'm not too worried because I'm 6'5", and they're taking a gamble coming after me.
Like,
but if they tried it, they'd realize, oh, this was a good target. But
right.
Usually don't try it.
But do you feel a vibe difference? There's a vibe difference. I head out here around here, and there's a different vibe from 7 at night and then 10 at night. 10 at night, it's more heads up.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost kind of exciting. It's kind of a twofer because you get your workout in, and you get home, you like survived. It's like when you get home and did you live in New York? Ever live in New York?
3 months.
Yeah, it's long enough. If you take the subways and this and that, and then a van and walk here and go there, get back to where you live, you're like, all right, survived. I did it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was a young dumb kid, so I really thought I was going to get killed every day.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, but you're in Valencia, is that right?
Yeah, Valencia.
Yeah. See, I'm in Madison, so after 8, I don't see a whole lot of cars. Period.
Yeah.
It's nice and quiet.
Is it quiet?
And it's cooler, so I like to run at night.
Right. Well, you're going to get killed.
Well,
I tell you what,
as long as we got this.
If I was out at 10 o'clock at night and I saw a guy in a hat with lights on it, I'd be pretty freaked out. I would steer clear.
Yeah. Especially if it was those red ones.
Yeah. Do they do turn signals? Can you like let people know you're going left or right?
No, I think I've done everything I can do with these lights. Either the red ones come on or the white ones come on.
Okay. Well.
Sure.
Do you find one is more intimidating to your opponent than the other?
Well, I find that the white is more annoying. See, that they're brighter, right?
Yeah.
That's why I leave them on for you guys. They're more, they're
annoying,
more pronounced and annoying. Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's great. I don't need my ring light on. I can just use your hat lights.
Oh.
But yeah, maybe we've exhausted the material out of the light hat.
Hey man, let me tell you what's good about a podcast.
Okay.
Yes, please do.
Someone give us a purpose.
Yes, Jesus.
You notice how there's like, all these comics, they're all talking to each other.
Yeah.
Right? It's endless. They just all interview each other and they're just babbling about whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And
hats.
you listen to it. Yeah, hats. This is horrible. But what's interesting is
Andrew, edit that out. Okay.
you'll listen to a comic. This is what happened to me recently. You'll listen to a comic, you'll listen to their whole interview, and then you run into them and you're very friendly. You feel like you know all about them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know them that well, it's almost like you kind of have the jump on them. Like you've got all this intel. Because I don't tell them that, I just heard you on the such and such podcast. I don't say that. I'm just like, hey, how you doing? Is that Marty? Hey, like we're the best friends. Like we're best friends. They're just like, Greg Hahn, what? Hey.
It depends on your listenership. Like after this comes out, get ready for a whole lot of, hey, Greg, where's your hat? Greg, where's the hat?
Yeah.
Fine.
But
that's one of the great things about podcasts. You do a little recon on you, and you get to hear what's going on in the business.
Yeah.
But it's more fun to see these people that if I didn't hear them talk for an hour, I might be more shy around them or act weirder because I don't know them.
Right.
Sure.
But I feel like it's a friend walking up, but I'm the only one that feels that way. The other person doesn't know what the hell's going on, but I couldn't be more friendly. Hey, you know what I mean? I feel like I know them.
That's great. Do you
That's
find
true.
that my wife listens to a lot of podcasts and then she'll always, whoever it is, doesn't matter who it is, she'll like them way more afterwards. So even if she went in, if it's a celebrity, she went in skeptical of the person, afterwards she just finds them so much more likable.
I noticed that in when podcasts are like big successful person talking to a successful person. They're very polite and likable. Yeah. But I've had what?
Oh no, I was just gonna say they're all able to bury the hatchet. Everyone's happy as long as they're both massively successful. Whatever petty squabbles they used to have for some reason don't matter anymore. As long as they're both doing really well now.
Yeah, they're just like, it was just at a business dinner, and have you been down to to the Spoon? Oh yeah, that's beautiful with the oregano and the whatever. They get this stuff,
right. And
they're both really good and they're really kind. If you hear like a celeb that got roped into doing some podcast that nobody knows, it's much ruder. It's rude. Guys trying to wake up. That's when you hear the real guy, and you're like, this guy is shitty.
This guy's an asshole.
Great point. That is a great point.
Yeah, that's when you learn about them.
So
but I get a little bit right. It is tough to hear when you hear the super successful comics talking back and forth. Sometimes doesn't it feel like a party that you weren't invited to? Starts making me feel bad sometimes.
But sometimes it just comes across as fluff because it's just like, this, and then
pure
it's
fluff.
What?
Pure fluff. You're right.
But that's not juicy. That's not enjoyable, right? When they're like, I went to
school.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, and then when it wraps up, like, okay, love you too, brother, love you. Get out of here.
They love each other.
Yeah, love you. No, you don't.
Yeah.
But,
I'll kill both of you.
I don't jeez. I don't like when they talk about like, you know, because stand up can be a grind or whatever, and you know, there's hell gigs and all that, and they'll use that as like, oh yeah, do you ever do this one or that one? And they haven't done any of that shit for like 20 years. They're all movies and stuff, but then they use the stand up as like an example of their, like, you know, like working man bona fides or something. But it's like, you don't even have any idea what it's like now. You know, you're so far removed from the actual stand-up world, or the working class stand-up world.
Now, what do you think of the road? Is it? Yeah, go ahead, Johnny. Yes.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I think I've talked about this, but like on that Seinfeld movie, comedian that came out, 40 years ago, when he's like, oh yeah, I still get out there. The construction guys are out there, so I got to get out there, and I'm going to keep working. It's like, I don't feel sorry. I'm not admiring that. You're Jerry Seinfeld. My job is 99% trying to get a fucking reply on an email. That's my job. And then, when I get on stage, it's great. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I got to get out there. Like, yeah, it must be rough to be able to walk into any club, bump everyone, and then just go to another club right after.
Yeah, and the implication is like someone would get all that money and fame and then not want to do stand-up. Like, most people seem like they still want to do stand-up even when they don't have to anymore.
Isn't that interesting? I don't know. It is interesting. These guys that have such an amount of money. I was talking to Arsenio Hall just because we were both waiting to go up at a club, This was a couple years ago. But I had seen him several times, like at the Comedy Magic Club down in Hermosa. And I said, what are you doing? You're out at the clubs. You working on a new special or something's coming out? He goes, no, it's just who I am. I'm a stand-up comedian. It's who I am. And I'm thinking, well, I must be Hummingbird Jones because I like sitting down with a cup of coffee, staring at my bird feeder. You know what I mean? I don't need to be here. I don't like anything about this set. It's who I am. I've had the same thing with I'm sounding like these guys on the podcast, but George Wallace, I worked with him again a couple years ago, right? He shows up to do a guest set. George Wallace, out in Las Vegas.
Right.
George, big George, and he's a funny guy. And then he's legendary guy. And he's in front of me and he goes, we were having a conversation. They got to the point where he says, Are you telling me if you had $10 million, you would stop going on stage? If you had $10 million, you could quit comedy. Is that what you're telling me? I'm like, yeah, yes. Like it's out of the question. Maybe I wouldn't, but maybe I would.
Well, I don't know. I was talking about this with my wife earlier today, but like I feel like everyone, it's not sometimes maybe it is love of the game, like you said, Arsenio, he just likes it.
So he is.
You're Hummingbird Jones, he's Arsenio. But I do think sometimes too, like people live to the top of their income. It doesn't matter how much money is like irrelevant. You make 60 grand a year, you make 600 grand a year, you make 6 million. Everyone's just living to the top of that. So if you tell someone who's making 6 million a year, like actually next year you're only going to make 3, they're like in a panic situation, because they've already figured out how to spend that much money. So I wonder that like with guys like George or whoever, like, yeah, he's working like crazy in Vegas all the time, but I wonder like how much of that it's like, no, I need to work. Like, like Joan Rivers and those people, they were working to the end because they were like,
it could all go away.
They needed it,
Yeah.
Really? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I feel I feel like I could hit an amount and that'd be good. Fine. I don't need double it. If you had $10 million, do you need 20? I mean, I like them able to get 20. I'm not against them getting 20, but in my case, 10 million. I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's a lot of Hummingbird feeder.
Yeah.
That's a lot of juice.
Yeah. I mean, you know what it is? It's not about making the money. For me, it's the freedom of not having to do anything you don't want to do anymore.
Yeah, but that's what
no one can tell me to do anything.
Right.
Want to come down and do this set? No, I don't. Not at all. It's going to be fun, man. It's in Hawaii. Even more, I don't want to go.
So let's say you have $20 million. You're done.
Right.
You're done.
I'll do whatever I want.
He was done at 10.
That's
right. He was sitting at 20.
At 10.
This is a different question.
Johnny's a terrible negotiator. Okay,
I don't know what happens
50.
at 20. Yeah. 50? What are you doing at 50? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
If I have $50 million, oh my gosh, I'd have such a nice car.
That's the funny joke. You know what? That's the joke. First, what would you do with 50 million? Get my carpets clean. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Or get new carpets. I'd recarpet my house.
That is funny. What's the richest you are where you don't care? Because if you're like Elon Musk or something, like he doesn't care. I mean, obviously he's got a Tesla, I'm sure, so that's a bad example. But like Bill Gates or whatever, they don't even drive. Like you never drive. You don't care what kind of car you have. What's the level where you stop? Like you don't even care if your car's flashy or not. You're just so rich. Because I think like you're right. If you had 50 million, the idea of like going out and buying a sweet ride is just ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
Who gives a shit? I have $50 million.
Yeah. Well, now what does Jay Leno have? He's got like 150 cars. He could do that. Just start buying cars.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, I guess he's probably has more than 50 million. Probably.
Yeah, once you have cars, once you have so many, if you have 150, you don't enjoy them as much. It's like my Jordans. I love Jordans, but I've got 38 pairs over there.
Do you really?
They're not as special as if I only had the one special pair.
That'd be funny because like Johnny flips his Jordans. He'll sell them back on eBay or whatever.
Yeah, I'll buy them and then flip them.
If Jay Leno
How long
was
do you
doing
wear
that on the side, he was selling his car, making a little extra scratch.
Just for fun. I wear half of them and I just keep half of them on ice.
Oh yeah.
You can't really sell once you wear them. You can't sell. Nobody wants to. Not that I haven't bought someone's used shoes before, but normally people don't buy shoes after you've worn them because you can just get them new from someone else.
Right. And they're stinky.
They're stinky. That's right.
Shoes.
I don't wipe my butt with them.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, great pre-show banter.
Good pre-show banter. That's what we call pre-show banter.
Oh, was that the pre-show?
Yeah, that's just the pre-show. Yeah, we gotta get into it.
So now, Greg, do you have a topic that you need backup on that me and Andrew can back you up on?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's the big thing of the show, huh?
Yes, that's true. But you have to just tell Andrew that I did tell you, so I don't get in trouble.
You did tell me. Yeah, okay. Tell me the premise again. We'll come up with it right now.
All right. Okay. All right. Do you want us to do one? Do you want us to do one?
Go ahead.
You can, while you brainstorm. All right, Andrew, you want me or you?
You go ahead, Johnny, and then.
All right. So let's say this is what I think. If someone gets a haircut,
right?
Okay. Let's say if someone gets a haircut, you could say, "Hey, nice haircut," but you don't want to say, "Oh my gosh, your hair." Like, let's say someone has beautiful, sexy long hair, and then they cut it. Huh? No, a guy. And then they cut it short.
Right.
You don't want to say to that person, "Oh my God, you look so much better. You look so much better. Just frames you better. It's just better," because they might be like, "Oh, I just cut this for this reason. It's coming back. I'm growing it out immediately." Same thing if you I equate it to like if someone breaks up with someone. You don't want to be like, "Oh, they were a stupid bitch. That was a good choice." You gotta wait because it could come. They could be getting back together.
Like,
and then get married.
That's true.
Yeah. Then you're screwed. They're like, I only broke up with them for this this role that I have coming up. We're getting back together.
Yeah, exactly.
But so I'm assuming that means you're thinking about chopping the hair off.
Well, I get bored. This is the third time I've grown my hair long, and I like it because it's it's beautiful and sexy, but then I get bored with it and I just want to change it, so I cut it. But my brothers are always like, "Oh, I think you should cut it. I think it'd look better cut." Because then if I do cut it, they're like, "See, yes, you look so much better," and I'm gonna be like, "No, fuck."
I think it looks cool. You looking like a hippy dippy guy. I think it's kind of cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is when we worked together at the jukebox,
Yeah.
I asked you that. I was like, "Should I cut my hair?" You're like, No, don't cut it. It looks better." And so
you look cool.
I did keep it long. Well, and then I cut it eventually.
Yeah.
But then I grew it out again.
I like to name my haircuts. Like I got a friend in South Florida cuts my hair. He's been doing it for like 30 years. He doesn't know how to cut hair. And he gives me like, he leaves the sides too thick and stuff, and the top is wrong, and the back is long. It's wrong, right? Looks like I'm running for governor. I call it a Buford. Like, oh man, he gave me a real Buford.
Wow. Usually
What's the
people
other one I
complain
get?
the sides are too short, but I've never heard of someone leaving the sides too long.
Oh yeah, it's just awful, man. So he gives me a real, but he's so fun to hang out with. You know,
So that's why you put up with the haircuts, because you like hanging out
yeah.
with?
No, you know what? I'll tell you, to be honest, 1 out of 5 is really good.
Oh yeah, that
1 out of 5
is
cuts.
so good. It's worth the risk.
Yeah. Those are terrible odds.
That's cool. Now, recently I've been saying, hey, man, bring the sides in. Like I coach, well, the last 15 minutes of the haircut is coaching, you know? That's cool.
I don't like when the haircut person is too needy. Like they'll do like 2 snips and they're already showing you the mirror. Like, what do you think so far? It's like, yeah, just go ahead and get some confidence and go for it. Show me at the end when you're really done. I can't tell you it's great. Oh, it's great. Yeah, so far so good. Like I get tired of saying that after a while.
Yeah. Somebody knows what they're doing. Just attach your hair. Bah, 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 bah. It's good.
Right. But Johnny, yeah, I back you up. You don't want to. You got to be careful with big hair. Compliments.
Yeah. Drastic hair changes. You gotta
tiptoe around that. It's like
right.
like if you think someone's pregnant, you don't want to say congratulations without being 100% sure. So
right, because they might just be having the baby for like a role or something, and then
right. No, I just got pregnant. I'm auditioning for this part. I'm hoping this seals the deal.
Yeah.
Now, when I go to Indianapolis, I get my haircut from Jen. She gives me a Leopold. You get a Leopold from Jen.
And how's that? What's that?
What is a Leopold? What does that look like?
It's tight on the sides, real tight, and then a big poofy thing on top. It's just, not appropriate.
Yeah.
No.
There was this one girl. There's a girl. You ever seen a old girlfriend? I ran into an old girlfriend one time. Went to see her, and she had a haircut. Honestly, so bad. She told me she could see my reaction. I hated how she looked from head to toe. So awful,
Yeah.
That she told me to sit down. She'll get me a glass of water. That's what she said. She goes, look, I tried to speak. I couldn't speak. She could see in my face that I thought she was just disastrous. I hated her hair. It was all cut off, I don't like they cut their hair off. Like, oh, now I look sassy. I'm sassy. No, you just look just awful, man. Just have some hair.
That's why you want Johnny to keep the long hair. You like the long hair.
Yeah. No, I just think it goes with his face, kind of like and I think the personality on stage,
Sure. What's funny is one thing I do have to be mindful of. I didn't even think of is I have a whole bit about Aaron being hippy dippy, and I just thought the bit was stale, and that's why I wasn't hitting as hard. But then but then Aaron pointed out, well, you look like a huge hippie, and you're sitting here complaining about your hippy dippy wife, so that's why it's not
right.
That's why I kind of veer away from that now that I. Or if I do it for a corporate gig, I'll just say, I realize I look like a hippie. This is just my quarantine.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, what are you going to do if, cut your hair, say shave your beard? Hi, I'm Johnny. I have some children and a wife. Boring.
Yeah.
This guy, like we look at you like with a wife and kids and whatnot, but you might have like a monstrous drug habit or something. Like It's interesting. You know what I mean? Yeah. We don't know you run. We think you're hooked on smack. You're interesting. You're interesting.
I've got a story to tell.
Yeah, right.
You don't get bored until you hear the story. Oh, I just run on. Okay.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what I said.
It's the exact same act, but they think there's like suspense because they're like, is he at some point is he going to admit that he murdered this family or what?
Right.
Yeah. I look like a murderer now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take it.
You look closer
like a biker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're definitely a biker. Like a very thin biker.
Yeah.
Malnourished.
Well, or like, an alcoholic.
An alcoholic.
Yeah, that's a good look.
Those are interesting.
Yeah.
like a cirrhosis, like you have a liver issue, biker. This is your last ride.
Well, I feel backed up. I got back up on my
Yeah. What is it? What's the premise again?
Okay, so
you just like a topic that you get a lot of resistance from other people that you need backup on.
or like a theory you have, or a controversial opinion, or something where people in your life have told you, like, I don't know, man, that's kind of crazy, but then we try to get there with you, you know?
Hence calling in the cavalry.
Right, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. That's right. I don't know, man. I live in the suburbs north of Hollywood, Valencia. Yeah. Should I have spent the last 20 years in like some apartment near the Comedy Store or Laugh Factory? Or am I good that I came up here to suburbia and I've got a nice view and a bunch of people with their dogs? Was this a huge mistake, or was this a good decision, or did I ruin my career? Which is the equivalent of huge mistake.
I think what you did is great.
You think so?
Everyone that didn't do what you did talks about it. They're like, oh my God, I can't afford this shit. I'm thinking of moving out, and then everyone talks about it, and then they never do. That's
moving out of the city?
Moving out of like close to the clubs.
Yeah.
I could just move a little further out. It'd be more affordable. It wouldn't be so crowded. And then I could drive in to do spots.
Is that what they say?
They talk about it, yeah, but then they don't. But see, you're living the dream.
Yeah,
I am. All right, good. I got backed up quick. Now, what about just moving into LA? We're living in California, right? And it's like, what do you got coming up? I got a flight to Des Moines on Wednesday. Maybe moving to California, which is stupid.
Well, that's why me and Johnny, we that's part of why we moved. You know, we both lived in LA, and then I'm in Portland, he's in Madison. But that was part of my thinking, was like, God, I go to the airport all the time anyway. What's the difference, you know? But I think it's great. The suburbs, you got the best of both worlds. You can get to those clubs, like you said, whenever you want, and you've got space for your rowing machine and your ping pong table. You know, where would that go if you lived in some tight apartment?
Yeah. Good luck squeezing that Saddam Hussein poster in a studio apartment.
Right. Yeah. What do you think about when you left Los Angeles? When you leave LA, is it like leaving the casino? You feel like, oh man, now I'm just guaranteed road comic, no chance of a sitcom, no chance of movies.
Yeah.
You know, even though I've been here for 20 years, 0 sitcoms or movies.
But there's like, you're still at the slots. I mean, you still have change going in, so you still have hope. You still got the hope trafficking, you know.
I got this agent, doesn't even sign me, but we have lunch every now and again, and he says, "This is the fun part. This is the most fun part, when they make promises that, you know, can't even come close to coming true."
Who's the guy paying at the end of lunches?
We go back and forth. He does, I do. You know what I mean? Oh. He's a friendly dude. Somebody at Comedy Magic thought I was real funny.
Okay.
So we meet for lunch, but he goes, like, at the end of the last lunch, he goes, "You know what? We've been talking for quite a while now, and I think it's time. I think it's time to change your life. I think it's time." You know, like, here comes some big audition.
Yeah.
Nothing. Haven't heard from him since. I got to email him again. Hey, man, you want to go back to, you know, whatever kind of horrible lunch, you know, where you get a turkey burger. Yeah, right.
Change my life again.
Yeah, right. But it gets to the point where you hear these speeches, like I've heard before. Remember, whatever happened to Les Moonves in CBS? I heard before. I got a phone call. Les Moonves wants to be in the Greg Hahn business. I'm like, wow, great. But it's almost more, it gets fun over the years. Like, the bigger the thing is, and it's just so fun when nothing happens. It's the most hilarious thing. So when you get a big promise, it's like you can really enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is going to be so great.
It's easier after what, like the first time and I don't have any experiences even close to Les Moonves or any. So like, but even the smaller versions of that I've had, especially when I was in LA, and the first time you think you're like set for life because some agent, you know, wants to send you out on colleges or whatever it is, you're like, oh, good, I'm never gonna have to send an email again or whatever. And the first time that all falls apart, it's very difficult You know what I mean? You have I had like a crisis, and then the fifth or sixth time, it's funny. It amuses me now when like someone says something like dramatic like that, and you just know like this is not gonna go.
No, right. I like when they make a big promise and then nothing. It's almost my favorite thing. You know, I've had it many times. It never upsets me. I could see some people breaking down and, you know, but a lot of people are struggling. You know, they're living on couches. They're in LA for like 3 to 5 months or something. Right. They're grinding it out. I'm very comfortable up here, so it's no big deal. It's entertaining when I get, you know, just I've had like Tosh Daniel, right, years ago. He's got his manager and his agents and whatnot, and they're all sitting in a room. And Tosh was nice enough to say, it's absurd he doesn't have any representation, talking about me. Yeah. And right away went around the room like, oh, he'll have 5 meetings this week. Oh, it is ridiculous. 5 meetings this week. Oh, absolutely. Not one meeting ever. And it was just so like, oh my God, what? Oh, done deal. Agreed. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, right. But it's so funny to me. It's enjoyable.
The more it is like, the more assured they are that this is going to work out. They're telling on themselves, right? Like it's like 1,000% tomorrow. We will put $1 million in your bank account and give you then you know for a fact it's not going to happen. If it's more, it's like the subtle things or like the hinted at things that actually end up coming through, or the long shots.
Now, both of you guys have representation?
I just for colleges and some corporate stuff, but not for like clubs. I book all myself.
Yeah, I did have a manager, and then he got out of the business.
Oh, which guy?
He's like, I had a really good opportunity. I'm out of the business. I've been in this 40 years. I'm out. I was like, oh.
Which guy is that?
John McDonald.
Oh, yeah. I had a big phone call with him when I first got to LA. And also Larry the Cable Guy's manager was on the phone call, you know? It was great. And then we talked, and then I never heard from them. And I called weeks later, like, hey, what about that? And they're like, yeah, I don't like to call people with bad news. That was great. It was great. Oh,
how generous. How generous.
Well, here's my question. So he got out of the business? I wondered about it. He was gone, huh?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
That's the thing. I don't know. He was very
what's the opportunity?
Vague about it. I don't know. He didn't say.
Oh, okay. What's it gonna now listen, now what if you stumbled into some crazy thing where you are filming on a set somewhere and you are making lots of money and now people want to represent you, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same people that weren't interested in you coming up. Do you sign with them? Or do you like, it's almost like, I know I'm talking like old and sour grapes. I get that, but don't you almost not want to do business with them ever?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
I
mean, it makes
already
sense.
Passed on you?
I know what I'd want, and then I know what I would actually do. Because like I would want to do what you're saying and go, nah, man, you guys weren't there in the beginning. I'm doing this all. I can do it all myself. And nowadays you don't need the reps and the managers. You guys are like old school now. I can do it all on the internet. I can go straight to my fans. I don't need. But I also know how lazy I am. And so if someone came in and offered to just take care of everything and I wouldn't have to do a lot of the shit anymore, I would probably just go, yeah, whatever.
Well, you probably look around for somebody that's kind of new or whatnot.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, someone who didn't reject me. Look way down the list for someone who hasn't rejected me at some point and go with that.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the sour grapes portion of the program.
No, that's
other than that, it's a lot of fun. You know what else is? You can see these managers and agents and have a lot of fun with them if you don't want anything from them. That's fun. Back in the day, you're a little nervous.
Yeah.
But now, not at all. Like, hey, whoa, what dating sites are you on, or whatever, you know? I don't care.
Yeah, it definitely alleviates the pressure. Once you're like you're not as needy, it's just like I don't give it. You know, who cares?
Right.
Yeah, and once you know, and that's the way you should have been acting when you were trying to get signed by them.
Right.
I mean, that's what everyone's attracted to, is that the dude or the person who doesn't need it and has the confidence to like ask them what dating site they're on or whatever. But it's when you're trying to get them is when you it's repellent to them. They're like,
right.
Oh, this guy needs it. I don't want to be with him.
Smells desperate.
Right. Yeah.
It's like when I moved to LA, I remember the first time I did a set at the Improv, and it was like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't remember, but whatever it was, I hit my time exactly. I killed. I was like,
wow.
I was as good as I could be. And I was like, didn't run the light. And I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to be in here now. I did a good job. And then all the comics after I watched, they go up, they're running the light, they're talking shit to the crowd, they're looking at notes. It's like they didn't dress up, they didn't give a shit. And it hit me as like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Like that's cooler, like that's like. And then those were the comics that would always get, because they didn't look like they needed it. Like I came off, I think, very like eager.
Yeah, like this is a big shot.
Right, which looked green or something, I think. So.
You know what? On the other hand, in defense of these people that are trying to make a living by representing people, I've seen old sets of mine unwatchable. So I get it. In their defense, I get it. Unwatchable.
But
like,
that's not even
about
true.
Desperation.
No, first of all, that's not true. I'm sure they're very watchable, and then also.
Oh no, horrific! No. Talk about desperate.
But also, I think they weren't basing it off the. Do you really think like these agents and they really base it off of like how funny the stand-up is, or do you think it's just like there's additional calculations I think that go into it?
I don't know how they do it, but I do know the phone calls were always bad news if I had to talk to them on the phone. You know what I mean? I used to get a call from, say, as an example, I'd get a call, from Dave Becky, right?
Oh, yeah.
Way back when, 1,000 years ago. Louis C.K. connected me with him, and he would call, but his assistant would call, Jeff Singer. Be like, hey, Greggy. I'm like, Greggy? What? What am I in? Hey, how you doing? Good. Dave wants to talk to you. Okay, hold for Dave. All right. I just started. And then he gets on the phone. Hey, what's up? Hey, Dave. Let me hear you swear. Do you ever swear? Let me hear you swear. Well, I mean, I normally swear. So off stage, but not really on stage. All right. You get any chicks this past weekend? Get laid. What happened? Get to meet some chicks? And you want to go, hey, man, you want me to play a club or something? Or they'd be like, at the end of the call, you hear, like, here's what I heard one time. Marcy Carsey might want to have a meeting with you. Talking to Marcy Carsey, from Carsey Warner Productions. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Click. Everybody's gone. Months go by, right? Then I talk to him again, get on the phone. Same thing, little questions. And then no mention ever of Marcy Carsey, I'd rather just get right to it. If I was a manager, I would tell a kid, look, dude, you need to write a lot more. You've got a stage presence, but you're obviously lazy. Figure out how to write. I'm going to have you talk to such and such you can write. And then you can go from that. We could get you in this club and this. You know what I mean? Get to it. Yeah.
Instead of, hey, you need big change. Time for a big life change.
That guy at least is.
That's it.
He's a friendly guy. I don't know. I guess what I'm complaining about now is when it's a cool contest. It was the same type of conversation with Larry the Cable Guy's manager in Atlanta, I don't know what we were talking. Here's what happened. And your man and your friend John, right, Johnny?
Yeah.
Your buddy, the guy John. They're both on the phone. And the other guy, I forget his name, but he says about John McDonald. He goes, Johnny's been lifting weights. John, you in shape over there? And John goes, yeah, well, I'm trying to work out, trying to, get healthier. And I'm like, and it's quiet. I go like, he's getting huge. He's huge.
Huh?
Yeah. Johnny, you working out? I'm like, yeah. Hey, you doing calves? I'm trying to be funny, And then at any point I could have gone, hey, everybody shut up. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I need to figure out how to write material and have a career. Talk about that, jackasses.
Yeah.
Both of you want to go. Both of you shut up. I'll kill everybody. All right.
What I will say, I think I don't like about the thing that I like about not having a manager is now I don't have to get approval from anyone. Like when I had, John was my manager and I wanted to submit a set to Conan. Well, I have to put together a set and hope that the booker likes me. Well, now I'm with John. I have to get through John's a gatekeeper, and then he won't pass it on until it's to his liking. I'm just like, well, I want to submit it. Like, I get that know what, you're helping, but like months are going by. I'm sending you, variation. It's just like,
right.
It just felt like a slowdown in the process.
I see. Yeah. But you got on Letterman now. That's terrific.
Yeah, but that was before. I got that on my own. That was before.
Really?
I wasn't with John until I moved to L.A.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, man, these lights are getting on my nerves. Well, that's great, man. There we go.
There we go.
Now we don't need that. We don't need any of that. Well, that's great, man. Well, you did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know that feeling too of like just what you were saying, how they can bullshit and it's so casual for them because it really doesn't matter to them. They're made in your mind anyway. It's like they're made.
Especially if they have 4 other clients that are on Conan for their 4th time.
Right. And you're just sitting there and you're going like, you could change. And this is the way I would think about it. I don't even know if it's really true, but it's like the whole time you're there, you're thinking that you can change my life just with like a very arbitrary decision.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. Like get to it. I don't know. It's like it's torture.
Yeah, you should say.
Back when I thought it mattered, but now I kind of have the opinion that they really can't just push a button and they're as much they can kind of like help you, point you in the direction, but it really does kind of, you have to do this shit yourself. I think the whole time.
Yeah,
kind of what I think.
Yeah,
but
what about the old Bob and Tom show? You guys do that?
I don't know. Johnny, you do that, right?
Yeah, I've done it a bunch. I haven't done it in a while, but they've been good to you.
They're great. Couldn't be better.
Yeah.
I went on there all nonchalant. Like, I've heard of this show. All right, what do we do? I'll do the job interview bit. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they've been my best agent, manager, and everything else.
Do you like it? What about because Josh took over, right? Have you been on it a bunch since then? He's good. I haven't been on it since he was on there.
Oh yeah, no, do it. No, he's very good. He's very good. He's very tuned in. When who was it? Oh yeah, when Bob left, I was just in my mind. Not that they would even consider having me, but in my mind, I'm like, do I want to mention to somebody that I wouldn't mind trying to get on the show? Do I want to? Should I do that? I don't know. Then I was on the show, and Josh Arnold had gotten hired, and I'm sitting next to him, and Christy was reading one of those stories. They read those little stories. A guy in France, his underwear caught on fire or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I am lost. Like, as soon as one of those little stories start, a lot of times my mind just goes away, I don't care about the guy in France with the underwear on fire, right? I'm gone. She's only been reading for 7 seconds. I have no idea what's going on, right? And then I hear to my left, I hear Josh, who's honed in, looking right at her. I hear him go, "Is that right?" Like, I'm like, that is the dude for the job.
That's how you do it.
He's the guy. He knows everything that's going on. No, he's very good. You'll like him a lot. That show's good. Show's coming on strong. He's good. He's very well read. He's very well read, and he's very quick. He laughs, and he's got a perverted Bob and Tom. He's got a good mind for the show. Yeah, he knows about the perv stores off the truck stops and stuff.
Nice.
It's a very specific job posting. Gotta be quick, well read. You gotta know those truck stop perv stories, okay? Can't forget about
stores. Those stores.
Oh, stores. I thought they were like legends that they get passed around at truck stops.
But he's good, man. You guys should do that show.
Oh yeah, we're on it.
You ever
I'll get on that.
You're our
manager
told a guy,
now.
You ever told a guy to oh, that's a whole nother topic. You ever had like a bazillionaire in front of you and you're giving them advice? It's the weirdest thing. And then afterwards you look back and you analyze, why am I talking? Why am I giving advice to Roseanne Barr?
I had
my friend.
I mean,
in my career, Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
No, you go. I insist.
Okay. Well, I've had that exact. My buddy Mike Cummings, we had on this show, but he was a comic in Seattle with me when we were first starting, and Bill Burr was at the club, and Bill Burr was just like becoming the most hottest comic in the country, all that. And we were all crowding around him, bothering him before the show. Really, a couple of us were on the show and opening for him. And Mike just starts talking to him about he should get into real estate. Like he should start like, what are you doing with your money? You should start investing in real estate.
Really?
I was like, what the fuck are you telling me? Real estate? I'm a comedian. I'm going to be a comedian. Well, you never know. It could. And this idiot Mike, open micer, is taking tickets at the club, was telling Bill Burr he should stash his money away in case the comedy thing goes away.
I remember giving Louis tips on how to get corporate gigs. Just ridiculous. Just absurd,
In your defense, he probably, if one of the tips was like, don't jerk off in front of people, that would have been a good tip on how to get corporate work.
Yeah, I don't know.
That comes into play at no point when getting corporate work.
No.
Right.
Yeah, it never helps.
Right. I don't know. He put me on some show. It was 1,000 years ago. Cedric the Entertainer's sketch show that was on. I was doing a sketch. Louis brought me in. I remember waiting to start the sketch. We're talking about corporate gigs. I'm telling him how to get corporate gigs. He's running this. He's working on a television show. His millionth one.
Was he
Roseanne
interested? Did he seem interested in the?
Yeah, that's the thing with these people is that a lot of these people are bright, and they're interested. They take your words in. If they're interested in having a conversation with you. Like
are
Roseanne
they
Barr
humoring
was
you, or are they being polite and humoring you, or are they actually like, oh, okay?
Could be, but I'm so dumb. I think they're sincere, so I start saying everything I know. I can send your, information to what? Or like Roseanne, she's like, I'm the worst one on the show. I'm like, no, Roseanne, they're going to be so happy when you go out on stage. They're going to be really thrilled to see you. She's all ears, She's got, and then when she leaves later on, you're like, man, she's like almost got $1 billion with a B dollars, dude. Just be quiet. You don't need to give her tips. I said, they're going to be so happy when they see you. Oh, you're so nice. Yeah, well, hang in there. Hey, Roseanne, stick with it. Good grief. She crushed. She crushed.
What else are you going to do to Roseanne in that moment? If she's showing that vulnerability, where do you go? You're fine. You're rich. Just get out there.
Right. Yeah.
Coast.
Or you're right. You are the worst one on the show. You can't. What else are you supposed to say?
You gonna wear that? Yeah. Right. Well, that's another thing. I was at Flappers, a couple weeks ago, and Jay Leno's been going to Flappers nonstop. Doing jokes, doing his set, And he comes off stage and he comes up to me and he goes, "They said to do 20 minutes. I don't know if I went too far over by 20 minutes." Who cares? Half a crowd at Flappers. You're worth $1 billion with a B. Did you go over 20 minutes? I'd firebomb this place.
Yeah, you might not get rebooked, Jay. I don't know. I'd apologize. A sincere apology email.
Yeah, he's got his watch. He's looking at me talking. I get the 20 minutes. I get 20 minutes. Are you kidding me?
He's like, was the booker in the room? Do you know? Was she?
Yeah. Why don't you? Yeah. I'd buy the whole neighborhood.
You could buy the club.
Buy the whole place. Burn it all down.
Turn it into a garage for his cars.
Anyway, yeah, advice to people that have already made it. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's good. We'll back you up on that.
Okay, should I do that? Should I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do. Yeah, that could be a whole show. You could just like sit down and like interview Elon Musk and be like, "Hey, man,
right.
About like doing the air fresheners in cars."
Yeah. Elon, you're not going to make any money. You're not going to make any money doing that. Listen, man. Listen. You need to be diversified out there. What, do you got it all in Tesla? Dude.
Yeah. You want to have some bonds,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Have some
yeah. Right. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's a thing. Advice to guys that people have already made it huge.
I love it.
I found myself doing that quite a bit. It's really stupid. You got to be a super kind of level of stupid to be talking to multi-billionaires, telling them how to be, helping them hang in there. Anyway,
They
They must just think you're super confident.
right.
Look at this guy. Wow. Maybe he knows that. Wow. Look at this guy with the hat. I wonder if I should...
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Elon, have you ever thought about getting into these hats that light up? I know you're into like
Yeah.
electric and solar panels and all that. Maybe you could do something with that. I don't know.
You know what I ran past Jay Leno? I was looking at buying, like, am I supposed, I'm so old now. It's like, are you supposed to buy long-term care where you send them like $3,000 a year, and then when you're 80 something and check into the home, you know, they'll put like 400 grand towards the old folks home, but you got to start paying now every year. You know, I run that past Leno when he's trying to eat a steak. I'm like, Jay, do I want to get this long-term care? You know, he's just chewing. He doesn't say, tell me about it. He doesn't need to say that. I start talking, you know? Yeah, well, you pay like, you know, $3,000 a year. And then when you're 84, they give you like 400 grand. Is that, what do you, you know, if they're still, he goes, if they're still in business. He was actually thinking about it, you know? But I'm talking to a guy with over half a, you know, what, $500 million. Do I need to buy long-term care? I don't know, man.
Oh man.
Next time I see him, I'm gonna ask him about disability.
Yeah. Ask him about. But I like that he, you know, he thought about it. You know, that's a good story about Jay
He
Leno.
completely did. He was in on it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in on it. And I mentioned, I go like, oh yeah, the stock market. I go all in. I go over 90%. Like that's. He goes, you really do that? He goes, He said something about he works hard, so his money doesn't have to work as hard. You know. I'm like, well, I barely write, so I got to go all in. How do you like that?
I need my money to be prolific.
Right.
My money's got to get creative and have ideas.
No, my real idea is you invest like crazy in the stock market because I think the whole thing is going to collapse by 50%. So I need twice what I need, and then it's going to come down to half. So I always look at how am I going to do with half as much? That's my plan. Run up the score, and then you get to keep half.
Right.
You know?
Then you're
this
good.
diversified stuff, and it goes creeping up slowly. Don't got time for that.
That's a very unique outlook. That's
well, it's very.
I think
positive.
it's going down 50%. It's going down 50%. Yeah, it's going to collapse and
The stock
crash.
market's going down 50%, and that's inspired you to put more money into the stock market. That is a positive attitude.
yeah, because half of more is more.
Right. I got to run it up while it's still going up. You know? Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
But then when it goes down 50%, then it'll
That's
go
when you
back
pull
up.
out. That's when you pull out.
No. You stay in. You stay in. I don't know. You might want to start saving some cash now. So when it crashes, you can buy a bunch, you know? Hopefully I'm still, I think, yeah, you answer that. Hopefully still working then too, you know? Even though I have the bird feeder commentary, how I'm going to sit around and stare at that. Yeah. Why not just keep doing comedy? It is fun. You show up somewhere, you know.
Yeah, they give you a hotel. Get out. It's not so bad.
Yeah, I got into this game for the hotels.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I just played, speaking of Wisconsin, I just played the Appleton
Skyline.
Club.
Yeah, Skyline.
The hotel they put you in is phenomenal. It's on that river. You got a.
I think I stayed in that since Adam or whatever took it over, and then I think I've stayed in that hotel. I think I know what you're talking about. It's a nice spot.
Really great.
Yeah.
Sometimes, have you ever been on the road? Sometimes you're like, why do they always say the road? Oh, the road's so hard. It just couldn't be nicer right now. So great.
Hotels on the whole are better. Even like an average hotel is better than it was 15 years ago. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, we're trying to get a Courtyard Marriott. You want to get a Courtyard Marriott.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah.
Because the bed faces the window, you know? So if they got a river or something, say, can I face the river king size? And then you got you're facing you're looking at a tree or something and the river. It's nice.
And you're a king for the weekend.
Right.
You do have to ask, because if you're on like that regular comedian, every week you're the same reservation, they always have the parking lot view, or they always think very little of you, so you do have to ask to try and like get the view sometimes. That is the one thing.
You guys, if you check into a room and you don't like the vibe of the room, here, you can back me up on this, right?
Yeah.
Like I just did a gig, and they put me in some hotel. What was it called? Elegante. The Elegante Hotel, right?
Yeah.
I got there. It was not elegant in any way. It was like a kid's playground. You ever walked into an old Holiday Inn and just instantly you hear kids screaming and you smell pool?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And your room's all beat up. You know what I mean? Anyway, I move out, dude. If I don't like the room, I just move. I move out. I'm out.
To like
Where you get your own, or you tell them, give me in a new room?
Well, I'll sometimes try for a new room, but a lot of times I'm out of that hotel. I'm out of the hotel. I'll go to the Marriott courtyard and just check in and be like, I'm here now. I think it's very important.
Wait, so on your own dime?
Sometimes if it pays good enough, yes. I'm not sitting there for 3 days or 2 days in this horrible thing where I got to wear socks. And there's already water in the tub.
Oh. Yeah.
And the chain on the toilet's broken and there's no hangers. I'm not doing it. I can't be happy.
It's funny because I've had good luck with hotels recently, but I have had 2 bad ones recently, 2 really bad ones. And one of them next door to me had a welcome mat in front of the room. I was like, that's not good. Like somebody lives here. That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
A motel?
It was like an inn, so they had outside facing rooms, and the guy had a welcome mat in front of his room, like candles in the windows. I was like, this can't be good. And then
I thought you meant the room you're checking into.
No, God. No.
Yeah, Rick's gone for the weekend, so we're putting you in his place.
There's clothes in the drawer. You're like, I don't know.
I think you got to be in a room that makes you happy,
Yeah.
Same with a rental car. Like if I can talk too much, I try to always stay in like Marriott's, rent with National, and fly Delta. And then I'm always cozy. I'm always cozy on the road.
You collect the points, and then you have good stat. I try to tell Johnny that, but like having status on the airline is everything.
Well, I had status with Southwest, and I was flying A-list all the time. First pick of my seat. It was great. No waiting in lines. But I never flew, because I always flew Southwest when I was in LA, so I would be like always A-list. But I never stuck with like Delta, United, or American, because I hate them all. They've all fucked me over at some point, and I've tweeted terribly at all of them at some point.
Oh yeah, but Southwest never has they don't have there's no first class.
Well, that's my point.
It's all first class. The whole thing's first class, Greg.
Yeah, right. I know they say that. Right.
Coach.
And they do a comedy routine or whatever,
Oh, God.
Oh, that makes me feel bad. I'm like, I don't know if we're going to even make it. When they start clapping and snapping and, doing my act to me when I'm sitting there, I can't stand it. Hey, it's Captain. I got a bid on it, but I don't like that. I like the friendly pilot. Oh, man. Hey, we're up here pedaling as fast as we can. Captain Zachary, the Z-Man. I'm the Z-Man. I don't want the Z-Man.
I don't want the Z-Man. When I rent cars, I go cheap. I'm not there yet. I'm not to your level, because I still I'm like compact, small. I'll fucking stick my knees next to my ears. I don't care. It's a car.
Yeah, you don't.
I'll be in.
You know what? That's good. That's a good way to be. If you don't care, that's good. Me, I do laps. I do national because you pick your own car, and I'll walk all around. I'll spend honestly an hour walking around. Dude, you got any Chrysler 300 Sports back there? I'll give the guy $5. Go get me you got a Jeep Grand Cherokee? There's got to be something then. We got this Malibu. Yeah, I see the Malibu. You got you got something that's cool?
I get bumped up because they'll be like, I do the small ultra compact, and they're like, we're going to, same price, we're going to give you a gigantic SUV. That's all we got. I was like, oh my God. I hated it because I felt like I was going to bump into everyone. Yeah.
Well, no,
really? Oh.
I like when they do that, like same price. Like, it's the last car you have. You're not giving me a.
Right.
We're going to hook you up with the only option left.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how I stay cozy. But if it's a bad room, like when I switched hotels this last gig, got the hell out of that crazy hotel and went to the courtyard. There was anyway, I switched rooms in the courtyard because the one room just didn't have a good vibe. Had 2 beds. I like the king size bed. The 2 beds and the view. Yeah, I'm just saying, keep maneuvering around until you're happy. I think you got to be happy.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I wish I could get back up on this. I wish gigs would just go buy out every time. So it's like whatever you're willing to spend on a hotel and flight, just give me that money and let me do it.
Sure.
I'm so much better at booking flights and booking hotels now than than they are. The average, even a travel agent. Sometimes they have travel agents book this stuff, and it's like the flights they find are ridiculous. They're just so bad. And it's like, just let me do.
Oh, for the cruise ships, they're the worst.
Whatever you think the best deal you're gonna get, even if you think we're only gonna spend $90 on hotel on this guy. Whatever, give me the $90 and I'll go up. I'll go $40, $50 over that. And
sure,
I'll be very happy.
yeah.
Like you said, it's worth it, but just buy me out. Don't waste it on the Econo Lodge, and then now I have to go either complain to you or I gotta go buy my own room, and now it's a waste. You know what I'm saying? It should just be
now, what about
buyouts
t-shirts
across the board.
Right, exactly. No, I don't like anybody booking my flights.
Yeah.
Unless we're going overseas or something, and it's
even then
you're getting to business class or something.
Yeah,
you got to be able to lay down if you're going over to the ocean.
that's a good rule.
You don't just sit in a chair over the ocean. You got to lay down.
You got to sleep through it,
like Columbus.
Yeah, you got to lay down. You got to eat the cheese. Like they come by every second with junk. Not that I go too often, but every now and again. The idea that you're going to sit in the seat and fly 8 hours or 10, come on, no.
No, I've done it. I've never gotten the good business class going overseas. It's horrible. I'm with you.
So you sit there for all those hours?
What else am I gonna do? I can't
say no to the gig.
Well, yeah. I guess I could have done that.
I wouldn't do that, man. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I can't see that flying like this. Have you guys been to Australia?
No, I haven't.
No.
I'll never be there. I'll just never be there. What is it, like 2 weeks on the airplane? just not going there, man.
Even if you can lay down.
What if you can lay down and sleep through it?
How long is the flight?
You brought it up. I don't know. I haven't done the
I don't know.
research.
You know what? You're right. You got a good point. If it's really cool, right? Yeah, you can really relax. Maybe. Yeah. All right. I forgot about that. I was thinking sitting in a chair. Who does that?
Andrew.
A lot of people. The majority of the plane, actually, I would say, does that. I'd say, like,
wow. I'm going to sit in this chair. How long is the flight? It's 16 hours.
Yeah.
What?
No, for real. How long is it?
Sit in this chair.
That'd be funny if you were like your row 35 seat A, and by the bathroom, and then you're like, "How long is this flight?" Like, "Oh, it's 16 hours." Like, "Oh yeah, I want to sit up there with the with the beds." I decided. Can I go up there?
Yeah. Right. Anyway.
Sure, sir. Just don't tell anyone.
Yeah, just don't tell anyone this time.
All right.
What about selling T-shirts? You guys sell T-shirts?
Oh, I do. Well, I haven't in a while. What do I see? Yeah, I sell T-shirts and CDs. And
well, see, you're going to make more because you've got a family,
Yeah.
You got a lot going on over there. You even have a dog.
We got to start selling these.
Yeah.
Right. Cavalry shirts.
I just give stickers away of the Cavalry.
Oh.
But no, I just can't get a good shirt.
Sure.
I don't know. I never got the inspiration, and then I know it's good. You make lots more money, but
shirts are a big pain in the ass.
And the size. I was like, I'm going to bring a whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I could use the Cavalry for that because, I never sold shirts. And, at certain points in the Bob and Tom career, I was around a lot of people, and I've got theaters. Some, we got a weekend of theaters coming up.
Yeah.
But the idea of grabbing that extra big, huge bag full of shirts and then stand behind a stack of shirts, collecting 20s, I don't know. I feel like I'm not in the shirt business.
Yeah. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, we had
a person that's gonna pay for their own hotel because they don't want is not gonna stand behind their shirts and be like, "Hey, who wants a shirt?"
A guy who won't sit in a chair on an airplane is not gonna also pack an extra bag of shirts to sell when he gets there.
Sometimes it's completely not equivalent at all. But sometimes I think about Prince. Remember Prince?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he put on a huge wild show and then as you're walking out, he's standing in a red hat, standing behind a stack of shirts? Well, I'm Prince, so I'm not.
Well, no, and then people are trying to haggle with him, like, "Hey, what about 2 for 30?"
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Or they're like, "What? Oh man, I could get a shirt. You're charging $20. I could get a shirt at Walmart for $7.
Right.
Fucking do.
Right.
Like, I'm Prince.
No, there's a lot. There's a huge upside, of course, to selling shirts. And you talk to fans. They like to be your friends and whatnot.
Yeah, and then it's like then if they wear it, they're doing promotion for it.
Sure. No, there's a million reasons to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
but I can't talk myself into doing it.
Talk to Julie Scoggins. She's got a flea market after every show. She's got everything.
Is that right?
Hats, shirt. Julie, you ever work with Julie Scoggins?
No, I don't know Julie.
She's hilarious. But after her shows, she's literally got like 2 long card tables. She's got multiple shirts, multiple hats, fanny packs, bumper stickers, dream catchers.
She's probably got a great new car or something. Like that guy Haywood Banks does that. It's like a mall in the back of the room, and it's set up. When I saw him, it's set up before the show even starts. It's just all there.
Wow.
It's it's like doesn't he have a name for it? Like, I forget the name, but it's something like Walmart, but it's got his name involved with it or something. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Just Walmart.
Haywood Mart.
Something like that.
You didn't think about it too hard.
Mart. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. Anyway, it's all set up before the show even.
Yeah, well, how about we had Dave? There's a guy, Dave Yates, on the show. He sells hot sauce. He makes his own hot sauce and sells it after the show.
Wow. He makes it himself?
Makes it himself.
Wow. Oh.
It's good too. Hot sauce.
Where's he from? Is he from Louisiana or something?
They're from Peoria.
Peoria hot sauce.
What? I don't know. No, he lives in L.A., but he's from Peoria.
But yeah, no, Peoria is not.
Where's he make his hot sauce?
I don't fucking know. In his kitchen?
Hey, Johnny, we play Peoria. Have you been to Peoria?
Yeah, I did it a couple months ago. Yeah, for Dan.
He's missing more teeth.
Yeah.
He's got a new goat.
He showed me the goat. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a goat that lives in the club for the listeners. Listeners, it's a comedy club owner's quite a big personality and struggling to keep the place open, and he keeps losing teeth. The club's not doing well as the teeth disappear. But a new goat. He's got a goat that lives in the back of the club. So after the show, you go back and you look at the goat and you ask him where his teeth are, and then you get in your car and go back to your hotel.
Yeah. I was like, my feature was Meredith hopping, and she's like, come on. And I'm trying to leave. It's the last show. I'm like, I'm driving home. And she's like, yeah, come on. He wants to show me his goat. And I was like, wait, what's happening?
Right,
he takes us through this. There was another customer there that the guy was like, hey, can I see the goat? And he's like, no, get the fuck out of here. No, I'm not giving you that. He's like, oh, come on, Dan. He's like, no. So we had to sneak through this other way to get away from this guy. And then we go, and there's a fucking goat, and it took a shit on Meredith's foot. I was like, wow, okay. Can I go home now, Dan?
I like that this guy, he was like, the customer wanted to see the goat. He's like, what do you think this is, a petting zoo? Get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, but you're the one with a goat in the building.
Yeah, and he'll talk that way too, which is funny to a customer. He talks to them before the show. He does 10 minutes before the show, pacing back and forth. Tell them to shut up. They'll be kicked out.
Yeah.
And he tells a little story. Who'd you vote for? He does politics. It's unbelievable. You can't believe what you're seeing.
I know a guy at the club where I started. There's a guy, Terry Taylor, and he ran this club called Giggles, and he would get on the back mic, same thing, but he would yell at the audience if it was light, he would yell at the people who were there that there aren't enough of them. You know, he was mad. It's like, why didn't you bring your bizarre. Friends and all this stuff?
Wow, yeah, that's funny. That's weird.
They're getting yelled at for coming.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of pressure, I'm sure, on the club. But
I like to yell at the empty chairs, people that aren't there. See, that's my hilarious bit. I tell the people, so happy you're here. It's this guy that pisses me off. Then I point to an empty chair. Oh, unreal.
Do you remember you took me to One-Liners? It was like my first road gig as we went to One-Liner. You brought me to feature, and I was so bad I got bumped to MC. Oh,
did you?
Yeah, it was Mike Marvell. Mike Marvell. And Dave had a switch because I was so bad.
That's all right. So what? So you open the show. You're probably great at starting the show. Fine.
Yeah.
What you do? You bomb a lot when you start. You bomb a lot when you start.
That's
oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, everyone gets bumped down when they start.
What if you really believe that? It's like, oh no, they just think I'm so great at the announcements at the beginning. They just decided to put me first.
I got promoted.
That's what I thought that once. I was one of my first gigs, like the equivalent of that one that you just talked about, Johnny.
Yeah.
I got hired at like Ocala, Florida, and I didn't have near enough time to middle. I had about 14 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're like, you just take the gig, you can do it. Whoever was setting me up with it. So I show up, I brought my drum set. I did my time. I tried to do as much time as I could and played the drums and came off. The guy called me back office and just started throwing down bills. I thought, wow, they pay you after every show here. It's great. Like he's fronting some cash. No, I was done. Dude, get your set and don't be here tomorrow. Great. Just
wow,
fired.
I was that good?
Yeah, just fired, man. Deep heart, unwatchable. It was great.
Good stuff.
Anyway.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Good episode. I think that's
good episode.
Is that it? Did we wrap it up?
I think we backed you up. I got backed up. Johnny, you're backed up.
Backed up. I feel backed up.
I'm drinking Athletic Greens. You guys ever heard of this Athletic Greens?
What is that?
That powder? It's some powder. It's got like 75 vitamins in it and a bunch of junk in it.
Nah, that's like LA stuff.
Is that no? They sell it. Is that green powder ground up stuff good for you? You say your wife is hippie, Johnny?
Yeah.
I don't remember her being a hippie, but anyway. But find out if that stuff is
healthy.
Good for you.
I just call that hippie. What?
Yeah, ask her if that's good for you. That those green powders full of vitamins and vegetables. Are they good for you? They must be freeze dried.
Vegetables are.
Hey, I'll give you guys another thing. Back me up on this. Now I know the podcast is over. That's when I get hot.
Wait. Save it. Because we do this little post-show thing that we throw up on the Patreon. So
that's for our exclusive Patreon.
That's a podcast. Just hold that thought. We're coming right back. Thank you.
Wait, where can they read? Where can our peon listeners catch you?
It's at Hahn Comedy is my website. No, it isn't. That's my Twitter handle. And I got a Facebook fan page and GregHahn.com for corporate gigs. At Hahn Comedy. GregHahn.com. You can go on my mailing list, and if you go on my mailing list, I don't mail you anything ever. I don't even really know how to get to it once I put you on it. You'll love it.
It's like me. I pay $5 a month to Constant Contacts, and I don't send anything out.
That's a great deal.
Get on my mailing list. You'll never hear from me your entire life.
All right. That's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
You're listening to The Cavalry.